Welcome back. I haven't done a video in quite a long time. We're going to jump right into it. Welcome to Aberana Trading Network channel. I'm doing a faceless today. I have a synopsis that I'd like to go over, and I want to get this out there because I think this is going to be crucial information for traders. This is going to be pretty much based off of GBP USD trades, Great British Pound versus US dollar, US dollar versus JPY, any of these US dollar currency pairs, because what I'm assessing in the market coming over the next couple of days is going to be something that's going to kind of trick a lot of traders and trap a lot of traders up. So I'm going to show some chart, and I'm going to show some things that I believe is going to happen. So the first thing that we're looking at here is, of course, the trading economics calendar. I've always said this. I say this until I'm blue in the face. If you're not using trading economics, and if you're not understanding and gaining a full education and understanding of macroeconomics, you're not trading. You're gambling. So if you're not looking at macro econ numbers and data from all different countries, or even if you like kind of like see mines, I have mine saved to GB, JP, and US because these are the particular currencies, and these are the countries that I choose to trade the currencies on. So I'm going to narrow mine down. You can narrow yours down, but I promise you, if you're not using this website as your first, I look at this thing 5 or 10 times a day, just to read the numbers. And that's all it is. It's just economic data, global economic data. If you're not trading this, if you're not using this, no matter if you're a prop firm trader, if you are, utilizing your own account or whatever you're doing, trading stocks, bonds, ETFs, whatever you're trading, whatever instrument you're deciding to trade. If you're not using this website, you're gambling. You're not trading. Okay, so let's get into this. So what I'm looking at now is I'm looking at what important global economic information is coming out for the U.S., the yen, and for the pound, right? So, of course, we're here Monday, January 12th, 2026. So we don't have any red information coming out, US, JP, or GB. So today is kind of like a big nothing burger. When I show you the charts, pretty much the UJ and the GB, or the GU, the pound dollar has formed a monthly doji. So it's a doji that has formed for the whole month so far, from January 2nd to now. Okay. Same with the dollar and the yen. The dollar yen pair was in a doji, but it did kind of run up, but it's started to retrace back down considerably now. I'm going to show you guys that. So I go through my calendar, and I become abreast of the information that is coming out this week. I stick to a weekly thing. So Monday, we don't have nothing for real. We have brand new quarterly gain stocks and stuff like that. We got corn, soy, wheat. If you're a commodities trader and you don't know this information, if you're just trying to use your charts and just be a technical advocate, you are a fool. You're gambling. You have to use fundamental analysis to trade in 2026 and beyond. This you can't do any other way. You can't do it any other way. Okay, you got Fed Bostic speech. You got a Fed Barkin speech. You have a 10-year note and a 3-year note auction. Okay, and then you have Williams speaking tonight. These speeches are just, they're private, and, we won't be privy to the information that's coming out unless you're watching like CNBC After Hours and things like that. Nothing GB, nothing JP market moving. So we come to Tuesday, and we have core inflation. We got MOM, and year on year, we got inflation rate, MON, and inflation on YOY, year on year, and then you got CPI, right? So these are red. This is red information. But what I've come to learn about inflation, these numbers pretty much come in line. And this is not like a surprise thing. This is real strong macroeconomic data. They're not going to, like, if you look to my right, you'll have your actual, your previous, your consensus, and your forecast for trading economics. And if you look at your core rates, your MOM and YOY, you can see they forecast 0.2% and 2.6% respectively. These numbers are going to come in right there on the button, and it's not going to be market moving too much per se. Okay, so that's what I've come to learn about these inflation numbers and PPI, and all the CPI, PPI, all this stuff comes in line. You have non-farm, and you have employment data. Those things kind of move the market more because those numbers can be real surprise numbers. Unemployment rate can move the market more because that number can come in a surprise, right? But these numbers right here, they have very strong data sets that come with this stuff. These people are definitely watching the money around the whole United States, so they pretty much know this number, and they can pretty much zero it down and it not have too much breathing room. So it'll come in line. The market won't move too much. That's Tuesday. So when you come down, that's December's numbers. When you come down, you have Red Book, you have new home sales. All this stuff is non-market moving. All the rest of the stuff doesn't really move currency markets, and it doesn't really move stock markets. So we have Wednesday. This is a very important point I'm going to make for Wednesday. So Wednesday, you have PPI. But if you look at the dates on PPI, the only thing that's coming in on Wednesday, on January 14th, is the mortgage applications, mortgage rate, mortgage market index, and the refinance index, and the MBA purchase index. That's all January information. That's all the January data set. PPI is a November and October data set. That means something. It's pretty much a fucking nothing burger. Okay? The PPI on Wednesday is going to be a nothing burger for the markets. Okay? It might blip it, but it's not going to move it in any kind of, significant manner, and it's not going to be sustained. You'll get a blip, but it's not going to be a sustained blip. Watch your volume. Watch your volume on these spikes. Okay? Because you'll see something that's going to be happening on these spikes with your volume. Okay, so the other thing that we want to see, we're going to scroll down and we're going to see all of this data set, the whole data set, all the way down to existing home sales is all November and October. All of this PPI, everything, all of it is. It's it's all stale data. So yeah, it's a red day, but this is stale data. This stale data, the markets have already baked, cooked, and ingested and digested and shitted out all that information. So it's not going to really be, anything that's going to be uh, market changing. The biggest thing that's going to happen on Wednesday is the Supreme Court's ruling on the Trump tariffs. In my opinion, you have pages, you have proofreaders, you have all of these assistants, you have all of these executive assistants, you have all these people right now at the Supreme Court, and they are working, and they are going over the law, and they are going back to 1700s, and they're reading everything, and they're trying to figure out whether or not they're going to basically dissent, or they're basically going to agree. Okay, I think, in my opinion, that they're going to consider the Trump tariffs unlawful and unconstitutional because Trump didn't go through the proper governmental channels, even though he did invoke a certain law, okay, written in the Constitution or written in the bylaws that he can utilize to implement the tariffs. I believe that they're going to come back and say that the tariffs are unconstitutional, and he did not have the legal authority to circumvent Congress, and they're going to make Trump pay back the tariffs to all these companies, these American companies. And what that's going to do to the dollar is it's going to crush the dollar. Okay, so if you're trading in currencies and on any dollar pairs, be just watch out. Okay, because if they rescind it and if they consider it unconstitutional what Trump did with the tariffs, it's going to crush the dollar. Okay, and the dollar is going to move in a massive way. Okay, the stock market is going to move in a massive way. Stock market might go green. You know, understand? The stock market might go completely green, but the forex markets, the money markets, they're gonna go red for the dollar. Okay, that is the most important point that I wanted to get off my chest. That be aware of your positioning. Be aware of your positioning. Okay, so here we go to through down Wednesday. We're going to Thursday. Now I trade GBP USD, right? So when I'm looking at my GB pair, I'm looking at stale information again. This is going to be another nothing burger. But what'll happen is if I'm positioned right, which I think I am positioned right with my buy limit, I think that um, I think that I'm going to get some love, and I'm positioning my GB at 34.50. Okay, for my buy. So if I get a retracement down to my buy order and I get triggered, I think that it's going to continue to go red, and it's going to go up red a significant amount. I mean, well, green a significant amount. My buy order is going to go green a significant amount. Because this stale information after the Supreme Court decision on Thursday, once this stale information comes out, this information is going to be it's going to help, the momentum of the fuck. I'm trying to read and I'm trying to talk at the same time. Of the trend, it's going to reaffirm the momentum of the trend from Wednesday. Okay, and then you don't have anything really market moving on Thursday outside of the GB. Once the U.S. well before the U.S. markets at 8:30, you got initial jobless coming for January. You got continuing jobless. You got the 4 week average. Um, Philly business conditions. The Philly is not going to move anything. Jobless claims and stuff like that. They don't move things too much for real. Okay, so we're scrolling down, and we got Friday, which is pretty much a nothing day, which I consider doji days, indecision doji days. So that's the week ahead. So from Monday to Friday, we pretty much see that you have very important information on Tuesday. You got very important information on Wednesday as far as the Supreme Court decision goes, all the way down to Friday. So I think that by Friday, things will start to taper off and things will start to, go into consolidation. So, you know, that is what I am looking at on that. Let's go to my charts here. Okay. I got my GB on the right, on the left, and I got USJY on the right. So we're looking at 1 hour time frames. You can see I have my buy limit in at 34,500. Looks like I might get it there depending on how the rest of this day goes. I don't have any trade open on the yen, so that's what we're looking at. And like I said, be aware of your positioning and be aware of the trades, your trade plan, and what you're going to take, and just be mindful that you don't want to have any positions open Wednesday once this information comes out. You really don't, because you don't know what they're going to do, but I suspect that they will consider Trump's tariffs unconstitutional. Okay, I'm gonna make that short and quick. It was about 45, 50 minutes. So hopefully you got through it. Thank you very much for listening. I'm gonna keep posting more videos all of 2026. You want to learn anything about trading, investing, or anything like that, we can talk about it. I'll answer your questions, but I would not advise you. I'm not a fiduciary. I don't have the necessary licensing. So there you have it. but we can have friendly conversation about investing and trading and things like that. And I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability. Thank you for viewing the video and thank you for watching the channel. Please hit the like button. I need to get in the algorithm so I can start going live and bring this thing live to you guys. I'll be doing 20-hour lives. So we'll get in here, we'll get deep in the Forex market, and I hope to build my community. I'm not selling anything, and that's what we're going to do. All right, peace.